Yeah, so that was Dr Ranginui Walker and Hinurewa Potsu from the Constitutional Advisory Panel with Scotty there. Let's cross live now to Wellington, where the spokesperson for the No Asset Sales March, Ariana Paretutanganui-Tamati, is standing by. Ariana, tēnā koe, morena, thanks for joining us.
Morena, tēnā koe, Miriama.
We've been discussing the constitutional review this morning. Presumably, you would like to see any entrenched constitution prevent state asset sales.
Oh, absolutely. It's actually to protect us, ironically, from successive governments from committing acts of treachery and to safeguard our children's future.
Explain what you mean by treachery. I mean, you've described it publicly as treacherous and statutory theft. How do you describe that?
Statutory theft. Theft, and definition of theft is to deprive the owners permanently of property, and that's effectively what this is doing. It's disenfranchising masses of our population, assets that belong to our children and their future children, and also our generation. So effectively it's theft. There's no other ways to describe it.
These are a majority of elected members making a decision, firstly to buy them, and now a majority of elected members making the decision to sell down to 49%. So, I mean, it's just democracy in action, isn't it?
Democracy in action. No, it's the failure of democracy, actually. And the referendum, we've just collected over 392,000 signatures from people who want a referendum held on this issue so that their voices will be heard. They've been ignored by the government. A one-vote parliamentary majority is not people's mandate to sell what belongs to us. It's a treacherous act.
So what is your hope for any referendum?
It's the hope that I share with the vast majority of New Zealanders, is that what we hope is that John Key and this government do not have the mandate from the people. They must halt the asset sales effectively, immediately. If they believe in a democratic right of this country, the democracy, they will halt the asset sales and they will let a referendum be held on the issue and let the people decide.
Of course, the government says that any referendum wouldn't be necessarily binding on them anyway. What's your response to that?
What they're doing is effectively ignoring the vast majority of the will of the people. They are servants. We elected them. They are meant to represent the interests of this country. Selling our essential strategic...
Isn't that the point, Ariana, that we elected them and therefore gave them a mandate?
1 million people didn't vote last year, and those are people who feel disenfranchised and don't believe in what this current government has done, and governments beforehand who have sold us out. There's 270,000 of our children living in this country in poverty. There's 44,000, there's thousands of people that are living below not on a living wage. We need to do something seriously to change the system in this government that allows individuals, 61 individuals, to do treacherous acts like sell out essential strategic assets. We know it's ludicrous. It doesn't make economic, social, ethical sense to sell our strategic assets.
We do have to wrap. Let me just ask you, your group is going to be occupying the Centre Half grounds for the next fortnight. What are we likely to see during that time?
We're going to have more occupations, more acts of resistance. It's symbolic of those hundreds of thousands of our people that have been left out in the cold. It's approaching winter, and they're doing an amazing act here on behalf of all our children and all our elderly, and there are people who will die because they can't afford to pay our power companies their power bills this winter again. And it is absolutely insane that we will be selling our assets, our power companies, for profits, and that will be the underlying directive and motive once the sale has gone ahead. Power prices will rise. There will be more people that won't be able to afford to keep themselves warm. There will be more people going to hospital, and there will be more of our elderly that are dying.
Okay, we have to leave it there. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we do thank you for your time. Ariana Paretutanganui-Tamati.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. On behalf of the people, John Key, don't sell our assets. They belong to us. You don't have a mandate. Kia ora.
Scotty, over to you.